Can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city light. Hey, darling, we could get out of town.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I'm so glad you're here. You are in my kitchen down on the farm, and this is a continuation of yesterday's video. If you saw yesterday's video, you know at the end it said to be continued. So that's what we are doing. Yesterday on that video, which is the same day for me, but I roasted up a pumpkin, and so I thought we'd just bring you right along. We'd finish that up. And what I'm doing now is I have it out and I'm kind of cutting away and peeling away the skin, and I'm putting in my food processor the pulp. So I think I have enough in here right now, and then I'll come back and work on this skin. But we're going to get this pureed up, and I'll then dump it in the bowl, make more room for more, and I still have another half and the rest of this one to go. So I'm going to puree this. I'll be right back. All right, I have pureed this first batch, and I just want you to see how absolutely beautiful that is. That is absolutely gorgeous. And we're just going to pour this right into here for the time being, because I got to make room to puree some more. We don't have to wash nothing or anything. We're just going to... Oh, it smells so good. All right. So back in we go with that. Back on the food processor. Now we're going to drain this because there's lots of liquid in that. But I roasted them pretty good. I wanted to be sure I got them really good. So they're a little brown on the bottom where they got some good toasty bits. Now normally I would keep that, and I'm keeping a little bit of it. Like you see, I'm leaving a little bit of the golden flavor. But I am cutting off a lot of it just because I don't know if I want that in a pie. You know, I don't know if I want that much of a roasted flavor to be in my pie. So, I don't know why I set that back over there. And so I'm just kind of going to cube off of this rind. There we go. Just getting all that good stuff and putting the skin back in here. So good. I cannot wait. I hope these pies turn out really well. But we'll see. We will see. I'm not worried about getting all that rind off because I've got plenty of pumpkin here. And so I'm just, again, I'm cutting off the majority of this extra brown stuff. I mean, that's flavor right there, let me tell you. And I just don't know how good that would be in a pie. So I'm just not going to add it. Since I'm not sure, I'm not going to add it. But my personal opinion is it would probably just really be delicious. All right. 2 more quarters to go. We'll puree this, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to drain it. All right, I'm going to set this out of the way for the time being. That out. Now I want to get all this pulp out of here. And then I've got over behind, well actually in front of me, I've moved it over here. I've got a colander that I have lined with cheesecloth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a bowl. I've got my cheesecloth in here. Okay. And I want to bring all these sides up if I can. And I'm going to kind of tie them together. Okay, and I'm going to see if I can hang it on one of my cabinet doors. So we're going to see, I may need a zip tie because I don't want the pumpkin touching my door. So I may get a zip tie. Let me try that. You know you're a farmer when you have zip ties and cook with them. All right, everybody, I just want to show you what I've rigged up here. When you roast your own pumpkins, there is tons of liquid. I mean, I have tons of liquid already in here, and there's much more. I mean, if I just squeeze it, you can tell a difference in how much is coming out. So I don't want to lose that stuff that I just squeezed out. But I'm just going to let this drain for a few hours until the water quits draining out. Then I will unwrap it and it'll be pulp ready to use for pumpkin pies for Thanksgiving. And now for the cleanup. Hey everybody, well, the pumpkin is draining, hanging off the cabinet. He's not even seen how I've rigged it up yet.
Not yet.
But we're doing something crazy. Look at the Christmas lights.
All right, it's looking festive.
But we're empty nesters. It's Monday night, and we have a, what is it called? The Full Moon Oyster Bar, and they have oysters on sale on Monday night. So
95 cents.
we're living on the wild side.
Steamed oysters. We've never done this on a Friday night. Monday night. We're going to go in and check it out. Let's go in.
Living on the wild side.
All right, here we are. He's shucking some oysters right here. Look at him. Going to town on. Look at the juices coming out of it. Ah, look at there. He's getting them a little soft, so when people scoop them off, it'll be kind of easy. All right, Diet Coke and a water coming right up. He's a professional. Look at him, man. He's a professional. All right, you ready, girl?
I'm ready.
All right.
They bring you potatoes.
Potatoes, slaw, kind of just hanging out. Wait for the oysters to come. We ordered 20. That's medium steamed.
It's not my charbroil, but we're going to try the steamed ones.
All right, we're going to give it a shot, see what happens. All right, she's getting it ready.
All right, I'm braving the horseradish. I put a little bit of horseradish on.
A little horseradish. They smell like oysters, don't they? We'll put a little hot sauce.
Yes, I can get the oyster off.
All right, here we go. A little Texas Pete on there and a cracker. There goes the first one. How's the horseradish on there? A little spicy?
It's not so much spicy as it is just strong.
Yeah. It's going to open your nasal passages, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll stick with hot sauce.
I knew better to do that. There you go. 20 steamed oysters. Let's go to town.
Let's go. The aftermath.
Yes. Was it good?
It was very good.
Delicious.
Very good. Hot sauce crackers.
You just like Texas Pete, didn't you?
Yeah.
Hot sauce and crackers.
Yep.
All right.
Delicious.
There we go. It's a wrap for Monday night.
Yep.
All right, we just left the Oyster place. Now we're at Food Line getting some groceries. Hey, let me show y'all what we got.
Go figure.
Chocolate ice cream. What else you got?
Biscuits.
Biscuits for the dressing?
I make hypocrite biscuits to crumble up and make breadcrumbs. And cones, sausage, and pie crust.
They're out of our regular sausage.
And Pepsis. Yes, they don't have our regular sausage.
Tell them why.
There's something going on at the plant.
At the processing plant.
At the processing plant.
Yep.
So I'm not sure what's going on, but I miss my sausage.
Niece's sausage has let us down.
Yep. It's not their fault.
It ain't their fault.
All right, everybody, it is the next morning, and my pumpkin was drained really well. Here I have approximately about 3 cups of pulp. And I wanted to show you how much liquid. I did not squeeze it or anything. It just dripped out of that. That is a lot of liquid. That is a lot. And so you want to get that out before you make your pies. So let's throw these pies together. I got to take Benji to his doctor's appointment. And so let's get this started. So I thought what we would do is I would try to mix it up in my food processor, just where I did the pumpkin. It may be too much and I may have to take it out and put it in something else, but let's give it a whirl. That way, just in case I missed something in the pumpkin, it'll have a chance to get pureed some more in here. So let's just give it a try. We're just going to kind of dump everything in here. So to my 3 cups of pumpkin, I'm going to go in with 3 eggs. Whoa. 1. All right, there's our 3 eggs. Let me wipe my fingers. I can't stand that. All right, so we've got our eggs in here. Now we're going to go in with a cup of white sugar and a cup of brown sugar. This is going to make 3 pies. However, we're probably only going to do 2. When I do brown sugar, I always, unless the recipe says do not pack it, I always pack it. And that just means I stuff it in and get it as full as I can, and I press. And I kind of use the side of the container here to press it in. So there we go, in with, I don't know if this is going to be big enough. We'll see. All right, so to this, oh my goodness, I have to add a bunch of milk. We're going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla, teaspoon of salt. We're not using butter, so we need that salt because I use salted butter, and a teaspoon of nutmeg. Now, I started to say little known fact, but I've told it on my channel for forever, is that I'm not a big pumpkin fan. I make a pumpkin crunch cake that I haven't made this year, believe it or not. But that's about the only pumpkin dessert I really like. And when I usually make sweet potato pies. Well, when I make sweet potato pies, I don't like the spices, the cinnamon, the clove, the nutmegs, all that stuff. And so
I thought, well, maybe that's why I don't like pumpkin pie. And I saw this recipe that only calls for nutmeg. So I thought, let's give that a try. Okay, so I'm going to give this a whirl real quick and just see if I can get it down and see if before I add the rest of the ingredients. All right, so that pureed down pretty well. I don't know that everything else is going to fit, but we're going to see. Let me get this turned around where I can see. I think this recipe calls for quite a bit of milk, but we'll see. It calls for a quart of milk, which a quart is 4 cups, right? Yeah, because a pint's 2 cups. So a quart is 4 cups. So we're going in with 4 cups of milk. Oh, yeah, this is getting dicey. I may have to put this in. I'm going to put this in another bowl and hand mix it with my hand mixer. I just don't want it to explode everywhere. All right, so it was worth a try. I think if you had a bigger, it would work perfectly because it kind of purees it right up together. I think it would work great. But I'm just carefully pouring this over into my batter bowl. It's okay if I get splattered because I'm actually not completely ready for the day. Don't worry, I'm not leaving that in there. I just want to be sure I get everything off the blade here. All right. All right. That's good enough. And now we're going to scrape all this out. And we have one more thing to add in here. This is a new pumpkin recipe for me. And like I said, I'm actually willing to give it a try since I love cinnamon stuff in my apples and apple pie and apple things. Not so much, and you know, those type desserts, but not in my sweet potato. And then therefore I've just never really liked pumpkin. So we'll see. We will see. All right, now I can add the rest of this milk. All right, and we're going to add in a good half a cup of flour. Okay, and like I said, this makes 3 pies. I'm turning it into 2, and then if there's any left, we will freeze that and have it if I want to make another pie at some other time. So let's get our blades in here. I need to get this out and get it charged because I'm going to need it Thanksgiving Day for the mashed potatoes. All right, here we go. All right, I'll bring you back once I get it all together. All right, everyone, let's gonna set this over here. I don't really know if I have enough to say. I probably do for a thin pie crust. So, so I'm going to put this, what I have left, I'm going to put that in a Ziploc bag, freeze it, and then we'll have another pumpkin pie ready to go. These are going in a 350-degree oven for an hour. I'll start checking it at the hour mark, and then it may go as long as 15 more minutes past the hour mark. So we're going to get this in. I'll see you back when they come out. So while our pies are baking, let's take a look at Bubblicious. Bubblicious has bubbles, a few. All right, so there she is. So we're going to feed her this morning. And I'm going to go in, and we'll talk about, a lot of you asked me, what did you hear on that video that made your light bulbs go off? We'll talk about that in just a second. But I'm going to go ahead and add in a generous half a cup. I'm not pouring any out, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. And I'm not going to go in with quite the same amount of water. I want a little bit more flour than I do water. All right, let me find my stirring spoon. And we're going to stir all this up together. And I'm reaching down in the bottom and getting the original starter mixed in with it. Okay, it needs a little bit more water. I like it as a almost too thick pancake batter. You know, not a thick pancake batter, but almost a too thick. You know, like it's like you almost need to add a little more water to make pancakes. Now we're getting it. All right, there we go. See, it's just a really thick pancake batter. All right. So it has been fed on day 2. All right, I just want to get all that off. Mainly because I don't want it in my dishwater. All right. So now I'm just going to loosely set the lid on it, and then we will talk about what I heard that made my light bulbs go off. Yes, I said light bulbs. I meant light bulbs. Okay. Some of you are probably wondering if I have any light bulbs, but I do. Okay, so it was nothing profound. It was just like something clicked inside of me. Like I always wondered, why do you discard? How much do you discard? Is there some kind of magic measurement with the discard and stuff? And she basically just in passing says, I just discard enough to make room to feed it. I was like, and as it grows, it doesn't spill over. Like sometimes it will spill over, but you want to just empty out enough. And technically you don't need a lot of starter in there to get the rest going. So once it gets active, you can almost discard the whole container. And as long as there is enough in there. She also has recipes on what to do with the discard. She said, just if you don't need anything to do with the discard, have you a container to pour the discard in, stick it in the refrigerator. You can use it when you want to, or it can be a new starter. So it was nothing profound that she said. It was just, I started to understand the why. I never knew why we discarded anything. And like, was there a formula to discarding? It's just to make room for more. To feed it, because you got to have room to feed it. It has to be fed to be kept alive. And so it was not rocket science. And I was like, wow, why have I never understood this? And she also made it very clear that when you decide to make a loaf of bread, you want to make it when your starter is active at its peak, when it's really working. That's when you want to make your sourdough loaf. But really, I got stumped all around the discard. Like, I thought there was some scientific formula to how much you discarded, and I didn't understand why we were discarding anything. And it's only to make room to be able to feed it. And so I was like, okay, I was making that way too much. I was lips, tongues, and brain makes words, and I'm struggling. But I was making it way too difficult, much more difficult than it really was. And so now I know, and I don't know that I'll keep Bubblicious alive forever. I get super, I don't know if bored's the word I'm looking for, but I get over it. Like, I'll get excited about something and then I'll get over it really fast. And that may happen with this sourdough. I don't know. But until then, we're going to keep feeding Bubblicious over there. And hopefully she's going to be bubbly and she's going to be delicious. Hence, Bubblicious. So we're working on it. All right. While my pies bake, I'm going to go get ready for the day. And I'll see you back in just a little bit. Well, everybody, the pies are out of the oven. They've been out of the oven. I've actually carried Benji to his 1-year checkup. And so let me show you these pies. They're gorgeous. All right, so these are for Thanksgiving. So no taste test. I may let Bryant taste them for you, but he's not here. So I'm gonna have to end the video without a taste test. But they are beautiful. Look at that. I am so happy and pleased with my pumpkin pies. So as far as they look anyway, we'll see how they taste when Bryant gives them a taste test. I'm not sure if the pumpkin was a good pie pumpkin. Isaac thinks it was supposed to be, but we're just really not sure. So, all right. Well, that's all for now. I'll see you guys on the next one. Remember, I think Thursday's video, Thursday, the next video will be day 1 of Vlogmas because we start on Thanksgiving. Remember, we're filming a day behind, so you'll be seeing my Thanksgiving prep, but it'll be day 1 of Vlogmas. So, all right. Well, I will see you guys then. Remember, the grease is hot enough. You can fry anything. Bye, y'all.